Right, this is just a bit of background to the USA Roaring Twenties topic, just to give you a bit of an idea of what was going on before we look at maybe like issues revolving around immigration and attitudes towards it. So in the background, before the course actually really kicks in, from 1850 to 1914, we think approximately 40 million people came to America. You would be looking really at about 2 weeks travel by boat, in a lot of people's cases in the cheapest class, with very little privacy, because a lot of people were trying to get a new life, a better life in the United States, the land of the free, the land of opportunity. So they would be travelling usually in poor conditions because it was all they could afford, because they were trying to better themselves. When you got to America, you'd come in via New York, you would go past the Statue of Liberty, you would see Ellis Island, but there was no guarantee that you would be allowed in when you got there, so the 2 weeks journey could result really in 2 weeks going back. So why would you go to America? Why America? Well, firstly, you've got a lot of overcrowding in Europe. People, birth rates were up, the European population was big, and this would result in a lack of opportunity for people. You find that it would be very hard to get a good life going for yourself, because there was a lot of people vying for that position, and that's also resulted in a lot of unemployment in Europe at this time. There was too many people for the jobs that were available, and then you probably weren't going to make a great life for yourself. You're probably going to find yourself stuck in like a job and in a position in society with little chance of betterment. There was also persecution. This could be religious, or it could be political. Alright, so you would see people like trying to leave bad situations behind to come to America and get a fresh start. It was a new beginning. So America became, because of immigration, which was built on a mixed society, and it's called the melting pot, the Great Melting Pot. And the idea was that any immigrants would come to the USA, and they would then lose or forget their old identity and come out of this melting pot as Americans. So you look at America now, and it's a massively multicultural, diverse, cosmopolitan society. Now, the old immigrants were known as WASPs, White Anglo-Saxon Protestants, and these were the first European settlers that tended to come from Britain, Scandinavia, and Germany, and being there first afforded them the opportunity of the better jobs, the more money, and holding the political power and influence. So white Anglo-Saxon Protestants tended to have the better positions in America. You also had Native American Indians, and these were the original people who basically had been forced, they were being forced across America, right? Like when the Europeans began to settle, the Native Americans had to move across. They were forced off their land, to put it bluntly, between 1850 and 1890. And by the time you get to 1917, an American entry into World War I, you find that many Native American Indians are living on reservations in America. You've also got a lot of black Americans, about 11 million by 1920, and this is the result of the slave trade, which brought a lot of people to America against their will, and then obviously people's bred since then, and it's basically got 11 million black Americans at this point in time. Immigrants who are coming in, you will start to see more Southern and Eastern Europeans. So the WASPs, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, are the ones holding the power. But as you get into the late 1800s and in the 1900s in particular, you're seeing people coming in from Russia, bringing communist ideas with them, perhaps Poland, which is East Europe, Italian. You're also seeing a lot of Catholics coming in, a lot of Jews coming in as well. So there were attitudes that were held towards these groups, and there was a lot of Hispanic people coming in, not just from Europe, but think of places like Mexico, and a lot of Asians coming in on the West Coast in particular, due to how close that is to the Pacific. So America is a great melting pot, and there's a lot of different nationalities will go into making it up, and this might just set the scene a little bit to help you understand the KKK issue, why a lot of white Anglo-Saxon Protestants started to throw their weight behind groups like the Ku Klux Klan. Alright, there was resentment around at this time.